Hi guys. Okay, today we are going to do a creative soul searching experience about dun, 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 dun. Don't be scared. It's about our thoughts and how we're still trying to figure things out as souls, and how sometimes we process things through and our perceptions really mess with us. And so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about being a soul and figuring things out, and some of the things that we do when we have the wrong perceptions, but how we fix it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm so glad you're here. Mwah. Hi guys. Okay, so this exercise for me was definitely the one where I dug the deepest, and by that I mean it was a little bit uncomfortable and painful, and so it might be for you too, but it is the one that definitely has made me stretch the most, and like I said, went the deepest, and really affected me. And so I hope it has the same effect on you. Now, here's something I want you to know. As we move forward in this creative soul searching experience, we're gonna be going deeper and deeper. So this one probably will take you longer than the other ones did, because you are going to be forming sort of a story, like what we'll start with things that have happened in our past that affect the way we think about things. So you'll see in the prompts in the PDF, in the collage sheets, the words and everything like that, you'll see it starts out with I'm still doing this, or I've made choices, or I've done this, or I've thought this, or I'm doing this right now. And so sometimes I blank. And so it's kind of like it's triggers. It's like sometimes we've been through things, and so when something happens, or we have to do something, we have to take action, or somebody is taking an action with us, or just things we have to do in life. Sometimes because of what we've been through, or what we're going through right now, or what we're trying to accomplish, we respond to things in ways that are totally related to what we've been through already. And sometimes we don't know why we do that, and we wish we could stop, or we wish we could respond in a different way. We wish we could be stronger and not be so triggered, just kind of roll through stuff. But that's just not the way it works, guys. It just isn't. So I'm just going to read some of mine to you, okay? And this, for me, honestly, as open of a book as I am, like this is rough. Like, it's hard. It's hard to talk about this stuff, and it's hard to think about this being the truth. You know what I mean? That sometimes because we are human beings, and we're wired, our brains are wired to keep us safe, to keep us alive, actually. We get triggers. We get triggers like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Even though our hearts and our soul, they know better, and they know how to, ride through things and get through things, and they know that we're going to be okay, right? They know we're going to be okay. They know that we're equipped to be okay. We still have this little girl self, or whatever age a terrible thing happened self, that's inside going, oh my gosh, don't do that, or oh my gosh, you have to protect yourself, or oh my gosh, stay away from that situation, or oh my gosh, just totally freeze and stay paralyzed and don't do anything, And so the whole purpose of this lesson is that when we have awareness, and we know that we're doing things, we can heal that part of ourselves, and start being more proactive, instead of being reactive, like where we get triggered and we have reactions. We react instead of respond. We have instant reactions. Our body fills with chemicals even. And that's one of the hardest parts about having a body, is that it creates chemicals that amp us up. We'll get adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormones. When we feel safe and when we feel loved and when we're loving, we make great hormones like oxytocin and serotonin and dopamine and things that make us feel really good. And so this is just an exercise of awareness, so we can be aware of the things that we do, and also the wisdom that follows up right behind it. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. So I gotta put my glasses on. Put my glasses on, and they're kind of dirty. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for it. I am still cleaning up the mess of my past, and so sometimes I feel angry and in a huge episode of anxiety, and I don't want to get close to anyone. I love and care about my marriage, my children, my grandchildren, my friendships, people I love and serve and help. So sometimes I have to leave early. That's just, you'll see all the prompts. Because of things that are going on in our life or have gone in our life, sometimes we have to do this. I really, let's see, I have made choices that, you see how this goes? They follow along, so I'm having a hard time seeing where it goes next. Which is so much part of the story that this tells, just the jumbly thing that our thoughts and things do, you know? Let's see. That is, okay. I have made choices that had heavy consequences, and so sometimes I numb my feelings with food. I'm still trying to fix my finances, and so sometimes I'm overwhelmed with shame and guilt, and I have no idea how to move forward and no idea what to do next. I experienced childhood trauma, and so sometimes I'm not very nice to myself. I am focusing on rebuilding myself in my life, and so sometimes I'm experiencing paralyzing fear and uncertainty, and I have to stay in and get it done. I have a need to protect my peace, so sometimes I hide out. I don't want to see anyone. I take a long time to respond. I don't respond at all. I'm still reeling from a long and difficult road, so much isolation, my worries, bullies, betrayal, and so sometimes I don't know who to trust. I don't know what's real. I feel sad and I don't know why. So this was kind of heavy to do. Also felt good because you're telling the truth and shedding light on something. But then at the bottom, when we're done, and you're going to see, of course I had to put my gold foil somewhere. That's when we say, but then I remember the truth, okay? So, but then I remember that life is still so beautiful, and to be alive is such a beautiful gift, and I'm so fortunate in spite of it all. I can start over, I can begin again, all is not lost. I remember that I've done a lot of really hard things, and I'm here to learn and grow and become, and I get to start over whenever I need, and there's so much adventure ahead. And I remember that I have so many people in my corner. The sacred things remain. We can make new memories. There's so many good days ahead. I remember, and I know that I'm okay. And then it has some hearts. Being human is hard. Okay, you guys, don't skip this one, okay? Just because it's awkward and uncomfortable. It's even uncomfortable for me to talk about it now. It was uncomfortable to do it. It feels really good. I'm so glad I did it. We're getting ready to start digging really deep. But we have to have an awareness of what's going on with us, or else our bodies just go into this autopilot of survival, and it's not the best thing for us because it prevents us from moving forward and from standing in our power. We basically live in a state of fear because we don't want, because our brain doesn't want us to hurt itself, but then we don't do anything. Like, we don't do all the things that we want to do. So I'm not going to say anymore because I want you to get to it. I hope you enjoy it. I can't wait to talk to you. You guys, just imagine a world where everybody behaved like they remembered that they're a soul, and everybody behaved like they remember the person next to them as a soul. That's how we change the world. First, we remember that we remember that each other are inside of this, and then we'll go out and treat everybody else like they are. And when we do that, people notice something in us, and they want to know what it is, and they feel safe around us. And if nothing else, we can at least offer a safe place for people to land, a safe place for them to be who they are. And then we're going to be able to get this world back on track. But I want you to remember your soul. Please don't forget. Please don't forget, and please don't skip this lesson. I know it's uncomfortable, like I said, but I promise you that you're going to have an amazing experience. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. So get in there and get your cutting and pasting done, and spend this time with your soul. Your soul really wants to spend this time with you. Okay, I love you. You're super easy to love, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Okay, so you're just going to start by preparing your background. I just did white paint this time. Because we're using white cutouts, I wonder if you might want to use a color, but if you want to do white, just go for it. But watch this video and see what you think. And then I just cut out, started cutting out the collage sheets while the paint dries. Now, I want you to notice here that this cutout is different than the one I actually used because I changed it after this to I am a soul, figuring things out. See, right there. You can see it, but I cut that one out and then I changed it afterwards because we just have to keep remembering, guys, that we're souls. Okay, so cut everything out and I put everything on my handy dandy cafeteria trays. And then I just started cutting out the first section, which starts with I am still. And I went ahead and cut out every single one that that related to me. There were only 2 that kind of didn't. And then I didn't end up using all of them, but I went ahead and cut them out because in this one we have a lot of constructing to do. We're going to be cutting them out and then putting these sentences together. Okay, so now you're going to start, now that you have the first part of the sentence out, just go ahead and cut the ellipses out and then just start filling those in with what you find on the collage sheets, but also you can use magazine letters or your letters from the Word and Letter Builder or True Stories. You can type them out. Have you guys thought of doing that? Type out your own letters. But just start putting these sentences together. And just like I told you in the lesson, just let yourself feel uncomfortable with some of the confessions that you're going to make to yourself, because this stuff is deep and vulnerable. And, it's the parts of us that we don't love to talk about or even acknowledge. But once we acknowledge things and we give it some awareness, we can change it and it loses its power over us, okay? So put your sentences together next. And then now that the paint's dry, you're just going to start gluing everything down. And so I'm just going to turn on the music and let you guys watch this until we get to the gold foil part. Okay, so obviously I had to use some gold foil, some gold leaf. I put it down below because I knew that's where the truth statements were going to go, and I love how it turned out. Like I said, there's a lot of white here, and so it's kind of washed out, and so if you wanted to, you could do a colored background. I do love how this page turned out. It's just really putting focus on one of my biggest issues. It's just my thoughts and my triggers, and where I go when I let myself just run away with fearful thoughts. So now you're going to just start constructing the truth statements. And that's when it starts to feel really, really good again, guys. Like when we bring out the lies or even the truths that are holding us back, and we smother them with truth about the things that we really do know that we just need to remember, then that's the way that we deal. That's the way we deal with heavy problems. So you can see here where I just, went all the way through, and I love this part. I love this part of the book. Because at the end, my favorite statement, we're going to be okay. And so I went ahead in that blank space. I added a little bit of glitter here and there just because I wanted the thoughts to just kind of be, random, just going out there. But I added, I can trust my soul in that little blank space. And that's what I did. I can't wait to see what you do.